my dear colleagues, invitees, delegates from different institutes, members of the media, and beloved students. After having listened to two different viewpoints from both the speakers who are present here, and if you can recall the remarks made by Professor Hemant Kumar as the inaugural address, and the hints that were given by Dr. Mahesh when he started talking about the theme of today's international seminar, that is New Horizons of Industrial Revolution 4.0. By looking into different dimensions and the issues raised by people on industrial revolution, I was really confused as to what to speak. But when I started thinking about it, it is Professor Debashish Chatterjee's speech in toto that made me to understand and grasp what exactly the Industrial Revolution 4.0 could be. In a nutshell, he made a remark in the beginning of his speech that Industrial Revolution 4.0 has not happened and it's not a revolution at all. And he said, we can think of a revolution when a circle is completed, when man started thinking after completing an act by looking back what he has done. Yes. And he substantiated his saying in terms of highlighting several issues. Throughout his speech, he was about to highlight the importance of mankind. And he said, it is not the computer power, it is the brain power. Yes. We need to think in terms of what computers cannot do and what we can, what is our potential. Many a time, because of the gadgets that are in our hand, we forget our energy. We may not be able to use our potential to the fullest. Therefore, he gave a wonderful point, that is, we need to think once again about the manpower. It is a challenge. The 4.0 is going to put forth a challenge to make use of either the algorithm or the altruism. He had given a point. It is not the intelligence of the computer that can solve a problem. It is not the intelligence of the computer that made it to win a game, but it is the manpower. So that there is the need to rethink about the human intelligence. However great we are talking about the artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence is artificial. We need to highlight the significance of thinking power of the human beings. And he has also made a mention that when you speak in terms of success or performance, it is not how much more you can do, think how much more you are. That is the greatest input that one can draw. How much more we are. What else I can do? What is my capacity to conquer what others have not done? Therefore, it's a tip for the students to think in terms of what they are. Know yourself. This is the golden rule. Since centuries, people have been talking about saying that understand yourself. You have the power, you have the energy, provided you are able to understand yourself. Therefore, he made a mention, performance, purpose, goal, ultimately are all aiming towards happiness. How to make the world happy. Taking the word happy from Professor Chatterjee's speech, I believe Mr. Kenji made an attempt to say that Japan is trying to make people happy all over the world by supplying qualitative products to US, India, and Mysuru is also made happy by having their unit of manufacturing here. Yes, They're all in search of happiness. But as a matter of fact, the developments of the Industrial Revolution, particularly the 4.0, as it is anticipated, is going to create a situation of unhappiness for the majority. The reason is simple. This advanced technology will create a gap between the knows and the unknown. The technology, that is, the people who have an access to the technology and who become the high-skilled, top-skilled, will get away from the semi-skilled and the low-skilled people. As a result of that, what we have seen in a country like India, for centuries together, the reasons for the disparity, the reasons for the inequalities, the reasons for most of the social problems that India is facing till today is the skill gap between two sets of people. On the one side, people with extreme knowledge who made the country to be called as the knowledge hub of the world. On the other side, illiterates, ignorants, who are not capable of understanding what they are. In my opinion, it is my personal opinion, that the technology that we are using today, the computers and the artificial intelligence, machine learning, which we believe that are going to replace the human brain, is creating a wide gap between the high-skilled and the low-skilled set of the people. In between, the middle type of, whom you can make a type of, the middle type of people, they are going to be in large number. Dissatisfaction, unrest, anxiety, tension are going to be more among the people who fall in between the high-skilled and the low-skilled one. Invariably, that segment is going to be the larger in any country, more so in India. Therefore, we can think of what will happen to this majority of the people. If I am right, in one of the discussions, a professor from Japan has only mentioned about society 5.0. The 4.0 industrial revolution is going to create a society of 5.0. That is based on the hints that starting from hunting, agriculture, industry, and information age. We are in the information age. The next stage, what it is going to be. That is the stage where we can imagine a sort of disparity between people with very high knowledge, people with huge richness, and people with not having anything of these sorts of issues. Poor and the rich, maybe the definition, maybe the amount of earnings may vary, but the gap is going to become too big. We need to respond to that. The objective of seminars like this is to respond for issues like that. Just yesterday, International Labour Organization, along with one of the international economic forums, came out with a finding that 66% of the employers, through the survey, just yesterday's findings, 66% of the employers are giving an opinion that what they have considered as the latest skill 3 years back has become redundant today. While recruiting people, the 3 years skill that they have acquired has become redundant today, and next year, about 35 to 40% of the so-called skilled employees are going to be semi-skilled, and 90% of the semi-skilled employees are going to be unskilled. But in a country like us, where we have about a greater majority of the people within the bracket of semi-skilled and unskilled, what directions that the universities and the thinkers can give? What response that we can create? That is going to be the objective of this 2 days discussions that we are going to have. For everything that happens in a community, it's quite natural. People look at the academics because we are treated as the gurus of the societies. Unless we, the people in the academia, think about the future, that is 5.0 society, where people are going to be more selfish, more self-centered, think about happiness of their own and forget that of others, there comes a war between algorithm and altruism, what Professor Debashish Chatterjee mentioned. Think, are you able to get happiness by looking at the success of somebody? Yeah, he raised the question. I'm very happy to think we need to cultivate that attitude for which India was known for. There is nothing new in all these things that all of us are mentioning. But I appreciate Debashish Chatterjee made a mention that it is looking back and completing a circle, and revolution means something that makes you to look back and see, oh, how much change has happened. So much of change has happened. We have invented so much, discovered so much, but still we are thinking how to be happy. That is $1 million question. So that discussions on the topics slotted for different technical sessions, I believe, will develop on issues like this and come out with some concrete suggestions that can be the guiding map or the road for the future, and facilitate us to handle the crisis that may happen in front of us in the coming society, the aspiring society. As Mr. Kenji might have mentioned, the culture of India and Japan, yes, can synchronize very easily. We have so many similarities. We also believe in an issue like Kaizen, change for betterment. Let us change for betterment if need be. Thank you all.